Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. And in the last episode, we actually dealt with Chapter 21, also known as Clash in Macedon. Also known for our probably like 6th or 7th time we fought off with our favorite man, myth, the legend, Mr. Mustache Man, that likes to change his name 5,000 times and also has the same picture every single map he joins in. But we actually, although we did fight Mr. Generic Boss over and over again throughout the entire game, I do actually like fighting with him every now and again because we have kind of given him his story at this point. But the actual cause and effect of the last chapter was we actually made our way through Macedon and completely made it so we can actually get closer and closer to where we're actually trying to get to, also known as the City of Thebes, also known as Garnef's Lair. Well, in order to get there, we actually had to go to the town Orlis, which actually presides kinda near this place as of what we know of. Apparently, we're going to be getting our Starlight Tome in this game, or chapter, I should say. Well, in this episode, we will be getting Starlight from Godo, and we finally get to meet him in the flesh, finally. So, with that, let's do this. Into Chapter 22, also known as the chapter we finally fight off with Nicholas, because I noticed him in the crowd. Although he isn't recruitable in this game, I don't know if he dies in this game, though. That is something I don't know about, but I do know who Nicholas is, since he is one of the Grand Hero battles. And also, I believe he was the first character to give you the Iote's shield as an actual inheritable. So honestly, he's a pretty cool unit. He gives a lot of fire units extra abilities to do so they don't just get one-shotted by archers, basically, because they used to be a big problem in the original Fire Emblem heroes like Takumi and stuff like that. But now that Takumi's kind of out of the game and archers really aren't meta anymore, but I do kind of miss them. But other than that, let's actually get into Chapter 22. Oh yeah, in the last episode we actually got to use our entire force. All 16 units that have never been on the same field of battle with everyone else. And every single one of them are units we wanted to use, so that was pretty cool. But other than that, let's actually get in here. Whew, Chapter 22, A Night-Filled Sky. Maria and Minerva's home, Macedon, is the birthplace of wyverns. It was known as a bountiful land of peace. That changed when Prince Nicholas aligned his goals with those of Dolor against Minerva's wishes. He turned Macedon's wyvern knights to war, striking fear into hearts across many lands. As Marth and his allies approach, the amassed wyverns blot out the sun. And with that, we will finally be taking on Macedon, which has been a major pain in our side throughout the entirety of the game since we've been fighting off with Dragoons every now and again. And this is where they've been coming from. Apparently, this is where Wyvern Knights are made. And this is where we actually deal with them. So first off's first, I feel like the first thing we should probably do, since Minerva is in the area and she can fly over, we're going to actually have... Actually, you know what? Zane has to transform in the turn anyways. But, oh yeah, but Minerva has the next turn, so the first thing we should do is turn Zane into Minerva, just to give him the stats that Minerva has, since that is a good idea. So, since he can't move all the way for his turn, it might as well just do it now. And then we can have Minerva actually go to the village, or the house, since we usually do that, so let's see what's going on in this house.
A great sage lives in the village to the north. He keeps to himself, though.
I'm gonna do that voice, since Godo's gonna be appearing in this episode, so I might as well do a different voice.
He keeps to himself, though. I've never met him. Nobody has.
And with that, I think that's the only house on this map, so I don't think we need to worry about going to anywhere else other than the village. Yep, that is indeed the case, and honestly, you know what? We're gonna save some time here, because the hardest part is actually getting to the village. I don't think there's any reinforcements here, but just in case, I do want to save some time here with Marth, just to make sure he's over where he needs to be, since we don't really need to worry about using our warp staff that much. So this will actually save us a turn by getting Starlight already. So let's just send Marth over, and let's do this. Here you go, Marth, all the way back to the other village. And all we gotta do is just capture it, and that is now ours. Hey, Godo, long time no see.
Marth, you have done well to make it here. I am Godo. As instructed, you have brought to me the Light Sphere and the Star Sphere. I now grant you the only magic capable of countering Imhulu, Starlight. Take it and bring an end to the wickedness of the Dark Pontifex, Garnef.
And with that, we finally met Godo. Although I expected more from him, but honestly, cool. Now we have the Starlight Tome. I don't think we need to really worry about the Wyvern Knights. I don't think they can fly over these walls. I guess there is one way to check, and that is just by trying to fly Caeda into it, and it looks like no. So yeah, they have to go all the way around. Good. That's a good thing, because now we don't have to worry about them just flying out and attacking Marth instantly. And we can move all our 10 movement units as much as we want, so that's actually really easy. So does that mean this chapter is not going to be that long? Because of the fact that, if that is the case, that means we can easily get through this chapter. But I've said that before when we did Tiki's chapter, so honestly, I don't know. For all I know, this ends up being 45 minutes anyways. So even if I say it might be an easy chapter, you know what, it's probably the best to say that it probably won't be, and just see how far we can get in a short amount of time, because honestly, it doesn't look like this is going to be too bad of a chapter. The Wyvern Knights could be a problem, but we've seen worse, honestly. We've seen, let's see here, multiple of those ballisticans with the pachyderm weapons. Those pachyderms are scary, but everything else has been pretty chill against us. Other than that, and maybe snipers. Snipers are kind of scary, but other than that, I haven't really had much of a problem with many enemies in this game. Well, I can't say that because we fought off with Camus, and he ended up one-shotting us a couple times, and we got lucky and had a random crit, which ended up just one-shotting him anyways, which was kind of funny. I still like that. That's how he ended up going down. He went out in an epic way, in my opinion. But let's see here. I guess we just make our way to the right side, because there's nothing really on the left side, so let's just keep making our way right, since there's no reason to split our allies up on this specific map, since there is a bunch of Wyvern Riders and Pegasus Knights, and also Paladins. So if we go through the right side, we can just block off most of it, since the other way, you kind of have to just run through mountains and stuff. So technically, either way, you're still losing turns, so with that, let's end turn and see what we're dealing with here. Because I don't know if they're just going to leave immediately. And if not, that's kind of weird. Okay, thankfully they are leaving, so that actually answers my question. Because I wasn't sure if they were just going to start running down early or not. Because if they were just going to stay in there, it was going to take a lot longer. But thankfully they do move, so that actually saves us some time. There is those strongholds inside the actual place. I have a feeling that maybe the enemies will start spawning inside there, so there might actually be a lot of reinforcements on this map. I don't know about the reinforcements on this map, since I'm only giving myself one chance at actually looking at reinforcements, and that was for the Camus the Sable chapter, and the last chapter, Clash in Macedon, since I did say I would do it, just to figure out which one would be better to buy items on. And apparently, both were actually basically the same, although it felt easier in that map to buy items in, because of the fact that there was only 9 of them, and they all spawned in once, and they didn't spawn any other time. So if you blocked off multiple strongholds, it completely canceled out their spawn, which was pretty cool. Due to the fact that, honestly, I don't know what I want to do here. What I can do is I can run Marth back, but honestly, I feel like we should be safe due to the fact that Marth does have the 17 defense, but the thing is I don't know if we still have... Oh! No, we don't. Okay, so if we start attacking, we're going to start using our weapons, so because of the fact that we don't have these spheres anymore, because the Starlight required both spheres, so now that we actually don't have the ability to basically block the use of our weapons, we actually do have to worry about weapon breaking now. So, who are we dealing with? Are these all javelin users, or are they all sword users? It looks like all lance and stuff. Okay, so the best thing I can possibly do here is go here, because of the fact that the paladins can't just overrun me. And honestly, equipping Merceus here, or Merceus, is honestly probably going to be our best bet here, since the Rapier, I don't believe, breaks through Wyverns, so I'm not even going to try to do that. But the other thing we can do here is run one of our Paladins in, to kind of back up Marth if he does run into a problem here. We can heal Marth from a long range, so we don't need to worry about him being attacked too much, since he will be able to kind of retaliate with the ability of Psychic, so we don't need to worry too much, but we should probably at least block a little bit of the Wyvern Knights, at least a little bit, since those could be a problem if they're given the chance to. We'll also make sure that Wolf is in position, since he has the Parthia Bow, and we did find out how much damage that does. 40 damage is not bad, so honestly, I'm definitely going to like using that in the near future. Okay, next thing we should do is make sure Zane and Minerva make their way into the next area. Also, what happens if you go to an area that, say like you move Zane into an area that would be like, an area where a normal unit can't normally be? What happens if he ends his turn and he transforms back into his normal self on top of like a mountain or something? Because I don't think you can actually walk on the Blue Mountains. So, what happens there? I've never tested that. Honestly, I kind of want to check it, if I ever get the chance to. I can do it in between episodes, because I'm not going to do it in the middle of an episode, because I'd have to just spam end turn for you guys if I do that. But, I feel like, you would be able to do something you normally wouldn't be able to do, though, with it. Although it's not going to be anything game-breaking, it could be fun to try it out. But let's make sure to keep moving our units, since we do have quite a force to move. And honestly, 16 units all making their way on the right side of the map through a tree-infested little area is honestly kind of harder than it sounds, honestly. So let's keep moving our units as much as we possibly can. I don't think we should use our Warp Staff on anyone that has fallen behind, because honestly, the Warp Staff, I don't know if we can get another one. I did use a charge because I thought it would be better off to do that. So, although I did that, I feel like it should be fine, and let's end the turn here. Because I feel like we should be in a decent spot now. So, let's see. Hopefully nothing too bad happens here, because honestly, who honestly knows? I honestly think that this could go a lot worse, but it looks like our 17 defense is going to block most of this. Also, that was a cool animation for a normal attack. Huh, why is he doing, like, sword flips for no reason if he's not critting? That's actually kind of cool. I like the animation, buddy. Although, all this experience would be nice to go to other units, I thought it would be safer to just go there, just in case if some random thief spawns on, like, a certain part of the chapter. So honestly, it just saved us some time doing that, so we don't have to worry about the village where Godo is actually in going down or something randomly, because for all I know, this game can randomly change the fact that only thieves can break the villages. So, just to be safe, we were better off doing that then, and making sure we didn't have to worry about that. So, honestly, we're killing two birds with one stone by just warping Marth there. And also, it gives us a little bit of a chance to kind of block off these enemies from just completely running us down. Because Marth, I don't have to really worry about when it comes to defense and stuff, but for most of our other units, we kind of need to worry where we actually move them. And also, Rider's Bane might actually do some damage to him. Really? 5 damage to him? And he has, like, lower defenses than most of my units. Huh, Rider's Bane's is just trash, is it? Huh, who would have guessed? I thought they would be a lot better than they actually are. You're better off just using another regular Silver Lance, because the Silver Lances do 7 damage to my 17 defense Marth. So, honestly, you probably should have just did that, buddies, because that would have definitely helped you out when taking on Marth here, because you guys are definitely not using the right weapons on my allies, because we're in late game now. They should be as strong as possible. And I'm honestly surprised that the enemies we are dealing with, because my defense isn't all that. It's pretty nice, but honestly, these I've seen some of these enemies do some proper damage, so I'm kind of surprised we're still fighting like weaker enemies, which is actually kind of surprising, because we fought off with Camus and we didn't have a problem with him because we critted him, but he was still hard. with our units, because our units were getting one-shotted by him. So that still says that we still take damage, so I'm surprised. Okay, well, this is where things get a little sketchy, but a little bit, I'm saying Wolf, move here. Use our Perthia bow on the Wyvern Knight that attacked with the Javelin, and that'll get rid of him, since we know it's going to do 40 damage. And there's no way that they're going to survive 40 damage, since most of them have less than 30 HP, so that's actually really good for us. The other thing I see here is maybe using our Rapier, due to the fact that it does break through these guys' armor. So we're better off just... and that's a crit. I could tell that one just due to the animation itself. And down goes one of those guys. That was easy. Okay, I'll take that, honestly. Well, Caeda's up here, so might as well just bring out the oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't do that, actually. We need to be safer than that, because there is a Bowman hiding in the background here. So if we get rid of Mr. Bowman with, let's say, a Javelin or two, we can actually make it so it's safer to throw Caeda into here. Because I don't mind taking damage, but archers are a different story in this game. We've seen archers do quite a bit of damage, so honestly, being safe when it comes to that is probably a saving grace. So let's be careful and let's not play stupid there. Because moving Caeda there might actually be a horrible idea, if I'll be completely honest. Zane, since... actually, I want you to get rid of this Pegasus Knight. Honestly, I feel like that would be a good idea. So you just attack this guy. It'll drop him down for sure, since there's no way he's going to survive. So get rid of one of these Pegasus Knights and we'll be probably fine now. And also, it looks like they have some decent defense now, since he is Minerva's strength. So what are we actually dealing with when it comes to these guys? They're actually 8 strength. They're worse than Caeda was. That's kind of funny. Okay, well, I still don't think that's a good idea. But, let me think of how I want to do this. What I can do is I can run you into here, and then we can use one of his javelins, maybe? Yeah, use one of his javelins, since we might end up getting attacked by one of the archers anyway, and what is with you guys and missing your javelin throws lately? Well, at least the 42 crit ended up happening, and ended up one-shotting that guy. That works. Our crits are definitely saving graces, I'll be honest. Okay, I feel like we should be fine to use our Gradivis now, so... Caeda, throw your Gradivis. That should get rid of this guy. Thankfully a one-shot, so we don't have to worry about breaking the thing, since we only want to use our Gradivis so much, so we can use our Hammer Knee on it, so we can fix it up, since we can only use it so many times, so we want to be careful with how many times we do use it, since it is very important that we remember how much we have used it, and make sure we don't break it, because we can break it and then not be able to fix it, is what I'm trying to say. So, just in case, let's make sure that we don't break the thing on somebody's face, because I would very much like to keep that item. And wow, you actually blocked another Wyvern Knight's damage. That is really surprising. I did not expect that one, due to the fact that these Wyvern Knights have been piercing armor left, right, and center, but you do have 18 defense, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, he's holding a Rider's Bane. Now that makes sense. Now that makes a lot more sense, and that is the wrong position. You don't have a Javelin. You need to go right here. I feel like you'll be fine with one Silver Sword swipe here. I feel like you can easily do the damage that is required to get rid of this guy, and we also don't need to worry about the Rider's Bane anyways, because we already know it does low damage to you guys in the first place, since it did no damage to Wolf. Although 6 damage is still something. It's honestly could have been a Silver Lance and did more damage to us, so honestly, I'll take it. I'll take anything that isn't a Silver Lance randomly getting attacked for like 20 HP out of nowhere. So I'll definitely take the 6 damage for one attack over getting completely wasted by a random hit by a Silver Lance that I didn't expect. So honestly, I'll take that. It could have been much worse. Okay, Drog, I do like you to have a movement to this side of the map. So you over there, I feel like Navarre could run, yeah, he can run through the mountains, thankfully. So then I'll save some movements for people. So Wendell, you just make your way around, since that's all you can really do here. I would like Wendell to get some fights in, but due to the fact that the 6 movement does really hinder a lot of our units, I feel like they end up losing the chance to actually attack, which is a little unfortunate. If they had the ability to have 8 movement like most of my units, I feel like they could do a lot more. But they are a lot stronger than most units in this game, so in a way it makes sense, but in a way it's kind of unfortunate for them because they can't do certain things that I would like them to be able to do. And there's another Rider's Bane. Hey buddy, I didn't actually expect you to run over the mountains, but I should have What is with the crits today? What? That's 3 crits in basically 1 turn. Okay, I'll take it. Oh yeah, wait a minute. That could have been much worse if multiple of those units can run through there, but thankfully we are smart and we had javelins prepared. So we're actually going to get to attack back and actually get rid of one of the units that were trying to take down one of our units. That's actually good for us, and we get a level out of it, because they could have easily just ran at Marth with their javelins and got rid of him instead, but they weren't very smart, were they? Because now they're attacking him with the silver bows, but these guys don't really do much damage other than when they crit, so we ended up getting away scot-free with most of that right there. That's not bad at all, and I'll definitely take that. Okay, 3 damage. Okay, that works. I forgot you guys only have 8 damage, so that doesn't actually... I don't need to be scared about these guys. Whew, okay. No reinforcements yet, but that doesn't mean that there is none, so just in case, let's be careful. We do need to toss a Starlight onto somebody, and I would like to keep that as an option for us to use, so we need to remember to save that for later, due to the fact that we can use the Starlight Tome probably after the Garneth chapter as well, so it's probably a high might weapon, honestly, so let's make sure to save that for somebody, because that might be a really good weapon to use. I believe this is Zane, right? No, that's Caeda. Okay, then I do want you to move. Okay, Caeda, I want you to get rid of one of these bowmans, so that I know you will double, and you actually might get rid of them instantly with the Granimus in general, so thankfully we're actually able to use these legendaries weapons now. I was worried about using them before, due to the fact that they had so many uses, so now that the fact that we can fix our weapons, I don't mind using them as much. Although, I'm not going to use it to fix some random silver sword, though. I'm going to only use it on these weapons, because I feel like that's a good idea. And, although we could... That's a crit. That is indeed a crit. Wow. What is these weapon crits released recently? I'm liking it. I definitely do like it. But, let's see here. Oh, wait, we might need you for Nicholas, actually. So let's keep your movement. Zane, I want you to get rid of this Pegasus Knight here, since you can easily just fly over the mountains afterwards. So honestly, it's a better movement if we move Zane here, and then just fly over after that. So that'll save us a turn for certain units. Do we really need to move every single unit to get rid of Nicholas, though? I really doubt it. And these poor Pegasus Knights, they are in for a treat. Every single time they attack, they're not like me, where my Caeda actually had a silver lance and a silver sword to actually do damage. These are straight up units that are using armor slayers on units that don't really do anything. So that's bad. You're losing out on so much strength that you probably might even only do like 3 damage to an armored unit with an armor slayer with 8 strength in this game. That does not work. That doesn't work at all. And I honestly would have just ran Drong into him if I was given the chance, but honestly it was just safer to do this just in case. But let's see here. I think Silver Sword with Drong here would be a good idea, because then we'll do a little bit of damage to this guy, maybe even double him, since Drong has the ability to, and as long as he has a little bit more speed than him, and he actually does because of the speed ring we gave him. Honestly, that was a good investment. I like our investments with our speed rings and our power rings, because they've always been pretty good. So, other than that, let's just keep making our way into the Macedon castle. Honestly, I didn't expect this to be a castle, honestly. I thought this would just happen to be close to the city of Aurelus, but it ended up being the capital of Macedon, which is kind of cool. I'll definitely take that. That's kind of a cool concept for this map. And honestly makes the map a lot cooler than just being some random map that you find with Aurelus. That is connected to Aurelus' city, because apparently that's what that's called. Honestly, I don't think we really need to run everyone down there, to be completely honest. Because there's only so many units down there, but the thing is people can maybe spawn in those strongholds, so maybe running our units down there might be a good idea. And also, it looks like Nicholas, although he is the boss of this area, he's actually going to run at us due to the fact that he's not sitting on one of the, on top of one of these little areas like this guy is. So the little castle, he's sitting on top of the castle, so he's going to block this no matter what. So that means, that is definitely going to be something, because Nicholas is going to run at us. He has 14 strength, which is not bad, but he has 19 defense, which is definitely scary, but he only is using a javelin, so it's not the worst possible thing here. I don't think he is any way, shape, or form a recruitable character. I believe he's just like Camus, although he is related to, actually he's a king, actually, in this game. So, yeah, there's no point in even, yeah, he's not recruitable and all, but he is kind of like Camus, where I think if given the chance and if he wasn't evil, he probably would have joined the team, since we do have Minerva and Maria in our army. And if that were the case, he would probably join us, but I think he's too far gone, because if I remember right, in the small bit of dialogue that I got from Heroes, apparently he slaughtered his parents to become king or something like that, which we probably won't get in this game, since the game's very limited on his dialogue, so based on my understanding of it, that's how he became king. So I don't think he would join us, like, fast. I think it would probably be like we'd need like multiple chapters with him, and maybe he somehow has some kind of like saving grace kind of thing where he knows what he's doing is wrong or something. Well, the reason why I say that is because evil characters do end up joining some of these armies, but they change their ways basically. So although they're evil to begin with, they could be they're much less evil once they join your army, is what I'm trying to say. Like, let's bring up Fates and Awakening, for instance. You have Tharja, and you also have Perry. Perry is a mass murderer, and it has been confirmed through her multiple supports with multiple characters that she is basically Harley Quinn of Fire Emblem. And then you have Tharja, which is literally a yandere, or, well, technically there's two types of yanderes, apparently. Apparently there's there's one that's, like, completely unempathetic. Or, I said that right, that's the right one, right? Well, the one that has no, yeah, it is empathy. Okay, yeah, so the one without empathy, there's one that's without empathy, but that doesn't really care about anything. Even, well, they have all these, like, whole, like, senpai things or whatever. I don't really care too much about, that kind of stuff, but the reason why I know about it is because of, for some reason, YouTubers bring up in some videos I watch, even though I don't really watch too many animes. I think I've only watched, like, 4. I think Death Note was one, the Corpse Party, series, because I watched, I think PewDiePie play through the Corpse Party game, so I wanted to check out the anime to kind of see what was going on with that, just to see how much different it was from the game itself. And then I think a little bit of Angels of Death, which I want to check out the anime for that, because that one's actually good. Dragon Ball, yeah, Dragon Ball was one, although I haven't watched in a while. Well, actually, there's a lot more than 4. One Piece, I've watched quite a lot of that, and then I quit after watching like 500, 600 episodes, because the anime is really long, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't have that much time to watch 1,000 episodes. I'm just gonna be honest, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Although it's a really good anime, I feel like it's a little too long of an anime, if you know what I mean. I feel like they could kind of shorten it down a little bit more, like make the fights last a lot shorter, because although they are cool to watch, it does take up quite a lot of the time in the episodes and stuff, or like filler stuff. Filler stuff really doesn't need to exist, but I guess you get some comedy out of the filler stuff when it comes to that anime as well. But yeah, that's basically it. Oh, here he is.
Damn you, Minerva. I will not put down now, quake in your boots.
I think that's what he said. He's actually fighting Marth, out of all things. Actually, I wonder what happens if you attack, Nicholas with Minerva. Because Minerva's in the area, we could try it, but where is she at, actually? She's one of these Wyvern Knights. I think Caeda's next to us, yeah. So let's actually try attacking him with Minerva, because I honestly want to see what he would say. If he does have any dialogue. No, he doesn't have any. At least I tried. At least I tried attacking him with her and seeing him if anything popped up, because in the future games I would actually activate a special cutscene where they would talk to each other. So at least I tried. But at least he talked to us, unlike a lot of the bosses that didn't feel like talking to us, so honestly I'll take it. Honestly, I want to take him out by getting rid of him with a legendary weapon, so let's use Parthia on him. See you later, Nicholas. One little bowstring and you are dead. Sorry, buddy, but you need to get out of my way, bud. Ooh, a Draco Shield. Draco Shields are nice. I definitely like me a Draco Shield, and honestly, I can drop one of his white items. Here, let's see here. I have multiple silver bows, so I can throw one silver bow away. I can easily grab one in the convoy. I have like 3 extra if I needed any extra, because you never know when you need extra items. So I don't mind dropping one silver bow to give somebody a Draco Shield this episode, because now that we actually have that, we can figure out who we want to use that on. Let's see here. I could throw out Marth to make him full defense and make it so he can tank anything, so honestly that could be a good idea. Oh yeah, there was a thief on this map. I didn't even see him. So yeah, there was a person that could have destroyed the village. Good thing I did teleport Marth over there then, because that saves us some time. Is this one of those maps if I run into the area, they randomly start attacking me, or is that not one of those? I feel like if it is, we should go in here with multiple units first to block off as many of these spawners, if they are spawners in case there is reinforcements. So let's block these off first, and then we can figure out what we want to do, because that would definitely save us some troubles that could easily appear on this map, if that is the case. Because I don't mind blocking off, like, pretty much all of them if we can do that, and then running Marth in with a little bit safer of a approach to this, because although it could be a safe area to walk into, let's just be safe and make it so we could just easily just walk inside and not have to worry about getting completely wasted just by stepping one foot in here with Marth just by himself, because we've seen areas where they randomly just spawn out of nowhere as soon as you walk into it, so just in case, let's be careful there, yeah. Just be careful and just make it so we don't get randomly attacked by like 50 dudes out of nowhere, so honestly I'll take that. That is not the worst possible turn we could have taken, so definitely a nice turn. Okay, here comes the curates randomly blocking my way, which is strange. I've never seen them do that before. They acted like they were going to attack me. Huh, that's strange. Never seen the curates walk like that before, and I've never seen us actually double thiefed before. That's actually funny to see, because those things usually double me instead. And that's the whole point of them, is they're supposed to be super speedy. And now they don't even get that to that, because their whole claim to fame is I have so much speed that I double you, and I also do, I poke you a lot. But these guys, nope. I have low attack, and I also get doubled. And that's more like it. Honestly, I'll take that over most of the other things. Honestly, holding on to Starlight might be a good idea, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, what I think we should do is hold on to Starlight and then give it to someone next chapter to save some time, but I can also do that in the end of the episode, so honestly I can easily just move Merrick forward and just do it that way instead, because that's honestly better. And then we could just block off the strongholds so I don't have to worry about people spawning on top of me. So honestly, we should probably just do that instead. Then I could just move Merrick after the episode and just transfer over the Starlight Tome to him, or even Lena. But honestly, Lena's got pretty good things what she's working with right now, because Thoron's not bad. Thoron's definitely a good weapon, and honestly saves us a lot of time by just using that in general. Let's throw Kane here. That would definitely be a smart idea. Oh yeah, I need to fix my items as well before we go into the next chapter. But I can do that in between episodes too, because I do need to use my Hammer knee charges to 1 heal up my Mercurius, 1 heal up my Parthia, and 2, I should have said 2, but 3 heal up my Gradivis, which would definitely be a good thing because we can definitely use that. And since we are going to be fixing the Parthia bow, you know what? We should probably, actually not that one, but let's actually attack the guy that's hiding behind this Wyvern Knight, and let's actually hit him instead, because of the fact that this guy hasn't taken any damage, so we can just get rid of him right here and now, since that should do... I didn't expect a crit. I was going to say maybe like 20 damage, 30 something, but 72! I never want to be hit by one of those things. But thankfully, we don't have to worry about that, since it's a one-of-a-kind weapon, so... See you later, enemies. See you later. Okay, well, just Silver Lance this guy in the face, and we're pretty much done with this map here. There's not much the enemy can do here now, due to the fact that we blocked all the strongholds. They probably can only spawn from... Well, there is a stronghold on the left side of the map, so maybe they do have an area where they can spawn from, but we blocked off most of their spawners, so we probably don't have to worry about any kind of spawning from any kind of enemy, so honestly, we probably don't need to worry. Although I am going to move Wendell up, just in case, because I've had problems where my healers were chased down by enemies, rogue enemies that spawned, so it's probably safer just to make sure that doesn't happen. So just in case, we're going to be a little bit careful there. We are going to wait on attacking this Wyvern Knight until next turn. I'm going to use Wolf because it's safer to Parthia shot him instead of just running Marth in there and attacking him, because I don't know what the Mercurius bow actually does. Or not bow, but sword, because you can't really check any of the stuff unless you check the wiki, and half the time I don't feel like checking the wiki for something that should have been in the game's code, and not inside a manual that you would have gotten with the game. Because if I were to get the Collector's Edition, it might have came with the guidebook that would have came with it, the little thing that usually comes with the older games, which is a little book that tells you, like, information that, hey, this is what this game does, and if you need help, just follow this and it'll tell you what you need to do. But since the game doesn't have that in the code, and it's inside a game book that has been scalped to all heck and back, honestly, I think I deserve a chance to go in and work with the wiki as much as I can with it when it comes to certain things like secret shops, item shops, how many door keys I need, how many bridge keys I would need, stuff like that. So honestly, it's not my fault that there's some missing things that should have been in this game to begin with, because they probably could have done that. I don't think it's entirely... I can't blame the entirety of the game for it being due to limitations, because certain things could easily have been fixed, I think. Because they have the ability to fix this game. They could have just released it with a new coat of paint. They didn't have to do the original game. They could have did this original game with a new coat of paint and fixing up some small problems that the game had when it first released in Japan, is what I'm trying to say. So, that's my one gripe, is I wish they did put a new coat of paint on it, just to give you some quality of life features that could have been added, but what am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do? I am having fun, though. It's not like I had a horrible time with this game. I had probably one of the funnest times I've had with Fire Emblem with this game when hanging out with you guys. So, honestly, I've had more of a fun time with this game than Three Houses, if that says anything. I honestly felt very... Although I said Three Houses was fun, and I liked it, I still feel underwhelmed by the final, like, things that were put into it. I was looking forward to the DLC thinking that we were gonna get, like, a lot more. I didn't expect, like, 9 chapters, if that says anything. I expected, like, kind of like Revelations, where you had a completely new story, and you were given a completely new cast of characters. That's what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for 4 new characters and 9 chapters that barely wrapped up the game. Because those characters were never mentioned throughout the entire game, and they felt kind of like, last minute. basically, is what I'm trying to say. I like the characters. I really liked Balthus. Balthus is always going to be one of my favorites from Three Houses. And if he doesn't make his way into Heroes, he will be probably one of the only characters I would ever spend money on. But I feel like it could have had more, is what I'm trying to say. But this game is definitely beat Three Houses for me, I'm going to be honest. I like Three Houses, but there's so much that it feels like well, the way I like to play the games is that I felt like I had control of what I was doing at all times. So when I wanted to train a unit and get supports, I could just go to one map and farm them as much as I want, and then get all the supports for the characters. For that game, I only had limited amount of times to do that, unless I did the free activity ones, and then you couldn't do the supports during there. You actually had to leave, and then you could do your supports. So it just wasn't that good when it came to that. And then also, the fact that the legendary weapons were so limited that it just felt like you didn't even need to use them. The only time you got to use them is like you break them and then you have to try and fix them. And then it was a resource that was really hard to get, in my opinion. So it just felt like, why would you use the relic weapons and just use silver lances and other stuff that you randomly find on the battlefield? It felt like those items were a lot better at most times. Well, other than Catherine's weapon. Catherine's weapon was pretty cool, but it broke so quickly because she attacked 4 times. So she only had so many charges of it, so it was like, eh. But with that, let's actually finish this chapter off, since I'm kind of rambling now, so let's do this.
Prince, we have discovered the location of Thebes. Far north in the Caedan in the desert of Marth I've lies the City of Illusion. None of who have entered Thebes have returned, or so it is said. Prince, what should we do?
Malladus, in order to retrieve Falchion, and save my sister, we must step boldly into danger. That's his name? Huh. I actually really wondered what that old man's name was. I thought he was, Boa or, some other guy. But apparently that's a different character entirely. Huh. I wish they went more on him, honestly. Garnef, I vow to liberate the beauteous land you despoil. And with that, we actually get to finally check what the City of Illusion's gonna look like. I do want to see that. So let's do that real quick, just take a small sneak peek of what we're dealing with here. I see some bishops, I see some treasure chests, I did know about that. So I was talking about Garnef's secret shop. So based on what I can tell, it's here? Based on how it's said? Because I see the map, it doesn't show the units on it, on the wiki one, so I don't have to worry about seeing how many units are on here. But it says it's right behind the throne room, which honestly, that looks like the throne room. So directly north of the throne, so break open the door and then go in that little spot right there after opening the door. But I could be wrong there. There is quite a bit of bishops on this map, but it makes sense due to the fact that it is Garnef and he is a mage. It does look like we got quite a bit of people to fight, though. And we have quite a ways to go up, too. We have to go all the way up the stairs, make our way all the way up the second flight of stairs, and then we finally fight off with, I guess this is Garnef here. But he has Swarm. That doesn't sound right. He does not hold Swarm. Okay. There he is. Nice try, though. Nice try. You should have just had him hold... You should have had them all hold Imhulu. That... Game, you can't do that. I'm not that dumb. He attacked me with a weapon that made it so I couldn't attack him. So Swarm, I know I can attack him when he has Swarm, because the whole point of Imhulu is it blocks attacks. So if you're blocking an attack with an item and not through your character itself, that means you're not that character. So, and it just said that it was the City of Illusion, so nice try being an illusion, but Gardev, you gotta try harder than that, buddy. I'm not that dumb. But at least we know where Gardev is. Well, thank y'all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in Chapter 23, The Dark Pontifex. also known as the chapter where we will be finally facing off with Garneth and getting rid of him probably entirely. I don't know if he dies in this game, I could be wrong, who knows. But he probably lives, because I think he's in Fire Emblem 3, which is when Hardin becomes a villain, which is one of our main units that we use. So that's going to be interesting when we finally do get into that, because apparently I read something about Garneth being in that game, but he could have been... I don't know if it's the real Garneth or whatever, but thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Keep being spooky, and see you all next time. Peace out. Hey, boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode. And keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.